Thank you very much for tuning back in again. This is the second half of the reading screencast presentation for the effects of public opinion. And in this part, we're going to look more closely about how the Congress and the Supreme Court are affected by public opinion. So, the House of Representatives members with the 2-year term have a more difficult time recovering from decisions that anger local voters. And because most representatives continually fundraise, unpopular decisions can hurt their campaign donations. For these reasons, it seems representatives should be susceptible to pulling pressure. Yet one study by James Stimson found that the public mood does not directly affect elections, and shifts in public opinion do not predict whether a House member will win or lose. These elections are affected by the president on the ticket, presidential popularity or lack thereof during a midterm election, and the perks of incumbency such as name recognition and media coverage. In fact, a latter study confirmed that the incumbency effect is highly predictive of a win, and public opinion is not. In spite of this, we see policy shifts in Congress, often matching the policy preferences of the public. When the shifts happen within the House, they are measured by the way members vote. The study's authors hypothesize that House members will alter their votes to match the public mood, perhaps in an effort to strengthen their local electoral chances. The Senate is quite different than the House, though. Senators do not enjoy the same benefits of incumbency, and they win re-election at lower rates than House members. Yet they do have one advantage over their colleagues in the House. The senators hold 6-year terms, which gives them time to engage in fence mending to repair the damage from an unpopular decision. In the Senate, Stimson's study confirmed that opinion affects the senator's chances of re-election, even though it did not affect House members. Specifically, the study shows that when public opinion shifts, fewer senators win elections, or re-elections. Thus, when the public as a whole becomes more or less liberal, new senators are elected. Rather than the senators shifting their policy references and voting differently, it is the new senators who change the policy direction of the Senate. Beyond voter polls, congressional representatives are also very interested in polls that reveal the wishes of interest groups and businesses. So, for example, if AARP, one of the largest and most active groups of voters in the United States, is unhappy with the bill, members of the relevant congressional committees will take that response into consideration. If the pharmaceutical or oil industry is unhappy with a new patent or tax policy, its members' opinions will have some sort of effect on representatives' decisions since these industries contribute heavily to election campaigns. There is some disagreement about whether the Supreme Court follows public opinion or shapes it. The lifetime tenure the justices enjoy was designed to remove everyday politics from their decisions, protect them from swings in political partisanship, and allow them to choose whether or when to listen to the public opinion. More often than not, the public is unaware of the Supreme Court's decisions and opinions. When the justices accept controversial cases, the media tune in and ask questions, raising public awareness and affecting opinion. But do the justices pay attention to the polls when they make decisions? Studies that look at the connection between the Supreme Court and public opinion are contradictory. Early on, it was believed that justices were like other citizens, individuals with attitudes and beliefs who would be affected by political shifts. But later studies argued that the Supreme Court justices rule in ways that maintain support for the institution. Instead of looking at the short term and making decisions day to day, justices are strategic in their planning and make decisions for the long term. Other studies have revealed a more complex relationship between the public opinion judicial decisions and largely due to difficulty of measuring where the effect can be seen. Some studies look at the number of reversals taken by the Supreme Court, which are decisions with the court overturns the decision at a lower court. In one study, the authors found that public opinion slightly affects cases accepted by justices. In a study looking at how often the justices voted liberally on a decision, a stronger effect of public opinion was revealed. So, whether a case or a court is currently in the news may also matter. A study found that if the majority of Americans agree on a policy or issue before the court, the decisions and the court's decisions is likely to agree with public opinion. A second study determined that public opinion is more likely to affect ignored cases than heavily reported ones too. In these situations, the court was also more likely to rule with the majority opinion than against it. So, for example, in Town of Greece versus Galloway, a majority of justices decided that ceremonial prayer before a town meeting was not in violation of the Establishment Clause. So the fact that 78% of the U.S. adults recently said religion is very important in their lives, 61% supported prayer in school, that might explain why public support for the Supreme Court did not fall after this decision. Overall, however, it is clear that the public opinion has a less powerful effect on the courts than the other branches and its politicians. Perhaps this is due to the lack of elections or justices' lifetime tenure, or perhaps we have not determined the best way to measure the effects of public opinion on the court. So as you guys can see, between both of these screencasts and this holistic reading, the effects of public opinion on government are great. And many people would say, as they should be, because in the end, government works for us. And in a sense, public opinion helps us express through polls, data, and studies how we feel about specific issues that affect us on our daily lives. Thank you very much for tuning in, and good luck with completing the rest of the comprehension questions and the lesson.